Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Sunday. We are on the break of the NFL, and we got to have a conversation about what went down yesterday in collegiate football because I am pissed off, but I got to talk to my guys about it. Dream, what's up?
Slow singing, about bring.
Very funny.
It's the theme for today, and also wings.
Wings. I got to buy you some wings after what went down yesterday. And Dr. Dan, good morning to you. How you doing?
Good morning, man. I'm doing just fine. Crazy. What I say about Kluber, guys.
Oh, Kluber got it done in the World Series. But I honestly, Dan, I love you. I want to talk baseball, but not right this second. Because I got to talk about Clemson and Florida State. Dream. Listen.
Please. Go ahead.
I got to tell you something.
Please
I
change the
never,
track.
ever cry about the officiating. I never do. I've been doing this for years now. I never cry about the officiating. I got to tell you, last night, that chop block that brought Florida State from Clemson's 33 all the way down to their own 8 after Jimbo Fisher was going crazy. One of the worst calls I've ever seen. Talk to me about this game.
First of all, I don't know what happened with Clemson in relevance to letting Florida. First, the game started out, it was going to be a blowout.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, Clemson just went into, I don't know what they went into. It just like all of a sudden it just stopped working. And they went away from what they were doing that they had success for. And then next thing you know, we're in a freaking dogfight, which I was like, why didn't they even get? What was bothering me the most, do you know how hard it is to run? I mean, you guys, excuse me, I shouldn't even say to you know how hard. I know both of you guys know how hard it is to run off the ends. To run wide is one of the hardest things to do, and especially consistent. Usually the adjustment is you spread your linebackers out. You can even spread your defensive line out. I mean, there's a lot of adjustments for this. Replace the safeties. There's mad adjustments that stop running off the ends. Yet, Clemson not once made an adjustment. They were getting murdered off the end.
Oh, Dalvin Cook went bananas.
Unbelievable.
I'm saying to myself, how are they not stopping this?
Unreal.
But Hatter, to your point, because I'm watching this on like infinite loop replay over and over again, right?
Yep.
To the chop block penalty, right? And maybe that's why Louisville's playing like such garbage against these bad teams, because they know that Clemson's got the officials in the bag. Because this was shoulder pad on hip.
Right.
This was shoulder pad on hip coming from a fine angle. He was coming from the front. And, I mean, I don't know how you make that call. I have no idea how you make that call. And, no, I mean, we've been doing this a long time. And, look, there's been some terrible officiating. I mean, NFL and college. But that just seemed like such a blatant – I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to get into it. We know – I don't know. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but maybe the ref had a little bit of dollars on that game.
Today, as far as I'm concerned, and watching the Clemson game, it did not. As far as me picking out calls with the refs, I can't even go there because, as far as I'm concerned, the Baylor-Texas game to me was the worst officiated game that I saw. Starting with a handoff, a clear handoff, misexchanged, dropped, fumbled, that they called an incomplete pass.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a clear
that was
handoff
nuts.
that's
was
fumbled. They called it an incomplete pass. And my whole thing is that not only, okay, I get the refs screwed up the play because the refs can screw up the play. Baylor, what are you guys doing? Why is your booth not yelling down to you, hey, listen, there's an incomplete pass. Go on the field. It's not an incomplete pass. It's a fumble. Challenge it. Go stand on the field. Go do whatever you got to do. Stop them from running a play. It's our ball.
Yeah, right.
You know what's even crazy about this is there's a Texas article, like a pro-Texas article, that's basically saying how even through sloppy play, and they're even crediting the officials basically with this win.
I got to be honest. There was that call. Then I mean, dude, this game. Now I'm watching. We never find out what's going on? Baylor's got something going on with Shock Linwood. Shock Linwood is standing with his helmet on. Looks like he's apparently fine, so he hasn't been medically taken out of the game. They won't put him back in the game for some reason. They get in the red zone 3 times. They never take not one shot at the end zone as far as the pass is concerned. All they did was run every down. They fumbled once in the red zone and 2 field goals in the red zone. This game, one of the most bizarre games I've ever seen. The quarterback runs his scrambles, gets helmet-to-helmet contact, and they throw the flag, then go and review the flag, and okay, it's not targeting, but it is a personal foul.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And then what? They botched 2 fumbles, targeting. I mean, but the officiating's bad all around. This is actually why that, they're looking at like the ratings for college and NFL being down, and poor officiating is one of the number one reasons for that. And obviously that's because people are playing these games.
Yep.
And I mean, I can handle losing a game. We've been there. We've all been doing this for 10 years plus, right? But it's like every time that you feel like the officials are not letting these guys, or kids in this case, play the game, or just calling these ludicrous calls.
Yeah.
We have, I mean, it also seems like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it doesn't even seem like with replay, it doesn't seem like it works because they still make idiotic calls.
Listen, you know what I love the most? When they go to replay and it's still idiotic and they still roll with it.
Oh my God. And like everybody, even like the home team gets all quiet because like, oh man, and the official's like, no, we have no idea.
No, we called it right the first time.
I gotta get to Red Lobster. Game's over.
All right.
Let's get right back at the game. We got it. We won it anyway.
Right on, guys. Right on. Well, a couple of other spots I want to talk about with you real quick is, Dream, the Louisville Cardinal. I know that you're super high on this team.
Super high.
What happened to them yesterday? I mean, they did win the game.
Halloween, I guess. The girls in the costumes, everybody knew that was waiting for them.
Yes.
So, it was all about, let's get this thing over with. I want to see, chicks in like crazy.
They don't call him Action Jackson for nothing.
Yeah. He did have 361 yards.
It all went down yesterday. I mean, look at almost, look at the top 10. Look at the top 10 teams.
20.
Right.
Tennessee goes down to South Carolina.
Every game was crazy.
Even the Ohio State University just gets out barely in Columbus, in their home stadium, playing Northwestern, a 4-4 Northwestern team. They win by 4 points, guys. I did not see
the Ohio State. Michigan did not look all that. I know you're since I'm high on Louisville, you're high on Michigan, who struggled with awful Michigan State.
Yes.
Okay. Washington struggled with Utah.
Yeah, but that's a tough game.
Yeah, that's a tough game. I mean, look, that's in Utah. That's the grudge match game, interconference. 10 points was a big spread. I still think Washington played a great game, and now I think if they run the table. One thing that I want to ask you guys from yesterday that I'm looking at this now. If this Florida team,
I agree with you, Dan,
runs the table, which is very difficult, at Arkansas, home against South Carolina, at LSU, and at Florida State to end the year. What happens with this Florida team?
They make the playoff. If they can knock off Alabama in the SEC championship.
Even if they run the table, I guess they would have to beat Alabama in the championship, right?
Right. Exactly. So that's
I think you
got to throw them in there.
My thing with the Washington-Utah game, though, is Utah better than Alabama? No.
No, not at all.
Is Utah better than Clemson?
No.
What about Louisville?
Utah and Clemson on a neutral site would be close.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big Clemson fan, Dream.
I'm not. This Utah team is very good. This Utah team is very good, and they fight. The other thing too is you have to look at it as it would be on a neutral site, and I think this Washington team on a neutral site would match up very well against Clemson. Louisville would be interesting. I think they match up well against them. Yeah, I'm not as down on the Pac as you are. I'm not saying it's a good conference, but I think Washington would match up against pretty much anybody on a neutral site and I don't think anybody matches up against Alabama.
Okay.
No, but I don't see Alabama win a championship. I don't.
No, I can't
tell you
see
why.
them getting
I'm going to
knocked
tell you
off.
why. I don't think this is their year. I think that Jalen Hurts is good, and I think he's a great addition to the program, but I think his inexperience is going to get them at the end. I really do.
So why don't you arbitrage every team against Alabama that's in like the top 10?
No, you just play the field.
Pat,
Yes.
I'm going to ask for you to keep your opinions.
Dude, Alabama,
You know
I'm
what,
still
Dream?
saying
Honestly-
Alabama could beat your Miami Dolphins.
Honestly, I have to definitely listen to you on that because my day looked as bad as your Cubs' future yesterday.
Oh,
It really-
whoa.
No. Don't try to throw the cup card on me right now. You can't even roll up in here talking about your opinion right now after your horrific day yesterday.
Oh, my day was brutal, and I gotta get big ups to my kid. He was screaming at me to bet Wyoming last night, and I didn't do it. I'm like, dude, it's Wyoming. I'm like, I can't do that. Shut up. Him and I watch college football all day, all night. He's like, no, I'm like, dude, they're plus 14.5. I get the home team underdog thing and all that. But sure enough, they knock off Boise State and win the game on the field.
Yep.
So now I got to listen to him all day. So I don't know what's worse, Dream, listening to you or him, to be honest with you.
Definitely listening to me.
Sounds good. And Florida gets it done over Georgia. Auburn gets it done over Ole Miss. I did not see that coming.
Auburn, Ole Miss, because I tried to tell you guys yesterday on the show.
No, you definitely did. You
did.
definitely did.
And this Tennessee Vols team goes down to South
And we
Carolina.
talked about the tennis. Listen, if anybody tries to tell me anything about that Tennessee team, kick rocks.
I agree with you.
Garbage.
Absolutely.
Team is the worst thing moving out there in college football right now. That most overrated. This team was. Do you remember, guys? I know you remember this. This team was ranked at the beginning of the season number what? 5?
9. And no, Tennessee is like a mirage. You know, it's like you look at them, and you're like, all right, they look okay, and then they just disappear.
Exactly. Good morning to everybody. We are live on Twitter right now, having a good time. I am hurting after drinking so much. Dream, I feel like your Friday morning right now.
I'm hurting too. We went over to neighbors last night, and they had me in there giving me all kinds of liquor that I don't really drink, but it's a good time. Want to send a big shout out to my man Blake Moore, Auburn fan. I got to mention him because he was hitting me up last night. It was like 2 in the morning. I'm like, Joe, really?
Gotcha.
Hit me up about the Auburn win. Nice job by him. He had brought, by the way, before I even get into how I got into Auburn yesterday, though, he was the guy I was talking about bringing this team to my attention. He's been hitting me up for the last 3 weeks after every Auburn game with mad Auburn rhetoric. And I keep telling him to please fall back, but I do got to give him a shout out.
All right, sounds good. So a bunch of undefeated teams go down yesterday.
Yes, sir.
West Virginia went down. Baylor went down. Nebraska went down. Boise State went down. So you know what? There's only a handful of undefeated teams left. There's Michigan, Clemson, Washington, and Western Michigan.
Hey, real quick, did I not say that Nebraska and Wisconsin, it's like watching a mirror play each other?
Oh, big time. It even went into overtime. Like
Crazy.
A perfect call on that one, Dan.
Thank
Definitely,
you.
for sure. So let's just talk real quick about the World Series before we get into the massive slate of the NFL. Dan, Corey Kluber. Probably your, if Cleveland wins, probably your MVP.
Yeah, it's Kipnis.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Kluber,
you have a
though.
co. Maybe you do a co MVP because, dude, God, this is. I mean, the Indians. I don't see them blowing this.
You don't see
I
them
don't, because even if the Cubs manage to win, and God, that's so much pressure. If they lose at home, oh my God.
If they lose, they're playing today, right?
Yeah, 8 o'clock, going up against Monday Night Football. I'm really curious to see the ratings. Obviously, NFL beat the World Series, but I'm curious to see what the disparity is in years past. But anyway, dude, you got to think that the Cubs are going to win this game. You have to. I mean, let's see what the line is. It's got to be minus 200.
Would they turn into Leicester, right?
Yeah, it's Bauer against Leicester, minus 240.
Wow.
Now, if you listened to me yesterday, and I never gave it out officially or anything, but I told you that I thought that they weren't beating Kluber last night. And the thing is like I said, it reminds you of the Royals a little bit, except with a much better starting pitcher. When you get to the 5th, 6th inning, wrap. Wrap. If you're a run, you could be up a run and it's done. Leicester showed a lot of nerves in game one. Bauer's like, whatever, I'm here. I can't believe it.
Yeah, right.
My finger was almost chopped off. This is cool. Like, I don't know. I don't see how you play this game. I just don't. I feel like if you're someone like Dream that has a Cubs ticket out there and no backup, you back this up with the plus 210 on the Indians and you hedge out,
Okay. Sounds good. So, Dream, any thoughts on the World Series? I know you were watching it front to back last night.
Killed it. Watched the World Series front to back. It's absolutely exciting. The most incredible thing, the DBs looked awful against Terry Francona as he was running up and down the field all night.
Exactly. So,
another note, I want to mention this because you mentioned ratings and programming, which brings to mind TV, and I've been thinking about this and meaning to talk about this for a minute. Two things. One, college football enthusiasts. I don't know if you're aware of ESPN's Goal Line channel, and no, we are not getting paid for plugging them, but it is just like the Red Zone channel.
It is sweet.
It's dope.
It's pretty good. The only thing is, I don't think it works as smoothly as the Red Zone channel because it like dips you like to right, like they're running a.
It's so quick. It's like they'll be on the one, and the guy will be about to be in the end zone. They're like, "Oh, and we go over here to Washington, Utah."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. It's also really good if you're someone like me that has a cable provider that does not like to carry SEC or PAC networks, because you'll be able to see the scoring plays in those games as well.
There you go.
The other thing I wanted to discuss as well, I don't know if you guys are up on this, but Scott Van Pelt's show, he has a section of his show, I believe it's called Bad Beats. It's a segment of his show. All they talk about is teams that don't cover the spreads.
Yep.
And it's very interesting the way they edit the film and break it down. It gives you another look at some stuff. And from a lot of you guys that are into that conspiracy theorist thing and the games are fixed and all that, take a look at this Bad Beats. I mean, they don't do every game. They pick a select few games, but it's very interesting. They talk about the over and under and how they'll say the over was 51 and let's watch this. And they'll just show you this team breaking down and doing stupid things and how they either don't get the over or don't hold the under down. Very interesting show from a different perspective. If you get a minute, maybe you might want to check that out.
All right. Sounds good. So are you guys good now? We ready to go into the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
Ready to get into
I need to be talked off the ledge today.
I'm sure you're ready to go into the NFL.
I'm going to go into hoop, Dream.
We would ask that you maybe you should go into wiffle ball.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, boys and girls, let's get right into it. We have the NFL going on live, and we got to talk about what's going on today at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. And feel free to give us a call. I just tweeted out the number 972-885.
And also let's talk about what's going on right now as the Washington Redskins and the Cincinnati Bengals are tied 7-7 going into the second quarter.
In the NFL's money grab of London.
Yes, exactly. 972-885-6184 is the number, so you can give us a call. If you got some plays up your sleeve, we'd love to hear about them. So, guys, since you're so dope, we'll start off with you. Let's discuss the NFL. Let's have a conversation. What is game one that you are putting your money on today?
Sounded a tad bit salty playing.
Oh man, I'm hurting. All the bankroll's looking a little bit like you're crying Jordan 1 last week.
It sounded a little bit salty. Today,
Western Union run.
as we mentioned.
Tough card today.
Pat doesn't have to go down to Western Union anymore because he knows to tell her personally. He just calls her because he has her cell phone.
Go back up the Briggs truck.
Yeah, right.
I got to make a deposit to Costa Rica.
That's why Dream got all international charges everywhere. Dream, what do you got up your sleeve today, brother?
So listen, today the card. You know, you guys had mentioned the card being ugly for the NFL, and I said no, and then I looked at it today again, and I was like, wow, man, you know, the card is not that impressive. There's not a whole lot of stuff I like. There are a couple of games that I'm interested in, but I'm going to probably, you know, be very selective in where I go. The first place I'm going to go, unfortunately, I'm going to start off at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Starting right off at 4 o'clock. And I am starting with the team that you think's overrated and you don't like. I'm starting with the Denver Broncos. I love this Denver Broncos team. I love the way they play defense. I like Talib. But I agree with you that their quarterback play has been shaky. I'm hoping Simeon started out, to me, impressive at the beginning of the season, and then got hurt. And since he's come back from his injury, has just not looked like he looked at the beginning of the season. I don't know if he's tentative about his injury. I don't know if the play calling has changed. I know there was complaints from the wide receivers that they wanted the ball a little more, so they opted to throw some more throwing plays into the mix. I just would like to get him a little bit more comfortable back there and show me something. Now, when I look at this game, the one thing I do know about the San Diego Chargers is their defense is not at all anything of a juggernaut as far as defending the pass. Defense on the Chargers right now is allowing 292 yards through the air, so Denver should have some success throwing the ball against this defense.
All right. I like the game as well, Dream. I like that spot. You know, I love taking Denver, and especially when they're at home.
Sure.
They're a very, very good team at home. Dan, what's your thoughts on this game?
Everything tells me Denver. I just don't like this quarterback.
No.
I'm not a fan. And I think, look, San Diego's offense has been dope. And, Denver, no more CJ Anderson. You don't know how, you have Booker starting today, right? So you hope that he performs. I mean, he should perform. I actually think that he will have a good day against the San Diego defense, if you want to call them a defense. I just get worried that the San Diego team might be able to hang with them offensively and put up some points. So I'm going to stay away from it, but best of luck to you.
Yeah, you know what, Dream? I'm definitely with you on this. I mean, and when you look at San Diego overall, they cannot win on the road. They're pretty poor on the road. 1-6 in the last 7 games. They've only won 1 game in the last 7 games on the road with Phillip Rivers at the helm. I think Denver gets it done. Maybe not as impressively as we think.
Sure.
But they squeak out of there with a victory. I think they'll beat up, especially, and I wouldn't be surprised if they fall down early and then get it done at the end. Because you see the decline of all opposing teams when they go into Mile High in like the 3rd and 4th quarter where they just run out of gas.
Well, and it's the Chargers who love to blow it in the 4th quarter too.
They do, exactly. And you know what? They got a little bit of revenge on their mind after going into San Diego and losing. So all those things adding up.
Keep in mind that against San Diego, we've had a lot of success with the overs in San Diego. I think I've hit every over San Diego every game they play. I want to say have they played a game that's went under?
I don't think so. And I just want to add to your point real quick. That's why that game actually concerns me, is that if San Diego does get up early, right, then you force the quarterback to throw the ball. And I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, I got it. Well, actually,
I don't know if San Diego is going to really get up on a defense that only allows 193 yards through the air. I mean, this defense, dude,
and they will torment you in the backfield.
This
they
defense is stupid. I mean, they are not letting you.
And it's not the defense I'm worried about at all. It's just seeing how this offense runs today.
Got it. All right, sounds good. Well, actually, the last game that went under for San Diego was playing this very Denver Broncos team.
113. Gotcha.
Exactly. So, all right, we're going to kick it over to Dan. Dan, where are you at today?
Yeah, so I'll go back to 1 o'clock, and I'll take a game with another pitiful offense. And I'm going to go with a road team, a slight dog here in the Detroit Lions at +1.5 at Houston.
Wow.
I mean, this Houston offense is a joke.
It is.
I mean, Osweiler doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. It doesn't look like, I mean, he knows the offense very well. It doesn't, it looks like there's a lot of internal strife. You have one of the best receivers, in Hopkins, and you can't get him the ball, like, ever.
Right.
Detroit, I think, is still very underrated.
Sure.
Good defense. The offense has been pretty solid. Houston's offense obviously is not at top shape. A lot of injuries. I think Detroit goes in there and actually wins the game.
You know that Houston is 4-0 at home. I don't know if you realize that or not. So they're pretty impressive.
I are 1-2 on the road. I got one of those numbers guys hitting me up on the TMSBT show with those stats as well, which means absolutely nothing to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I got it. When you look at Houston, I mean, their defense is pretty good. That's pretty much why they've won. I mean, it's definitely not the quarterback play of Osweiler by any stretch.
I have to beg to differ with you about Houston's defense. Houston's defense.
If you look, go ahead, Dream. Preach.
Yeah, it's had some spots when it's looked good, then spots when it's been dreadful.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you look at the 4 home wins, right? The Bears, garbage. The Chiefs on the, at home, and you know how the Chiefs play on the road, okay? And then the Titans, and they still gave, and then the Colts, and they almost lost the Colts at home. And then, I just think that Detroit is going to be able to do a lot of things to them. And I think that's why the line is where it is. People are, 4-0. You got to look at the 4-0. I mean, I don't know. I think Detroit goes in there and beats them.
You talk about them, their defense. I mean, you look at these numbers on their games. Minnesota beats them 31. They let Minnesota have 31. They let Tennessee have 27. They let Denver have 27. And Denver doesn't blow you away with their quarterback play, as we're talking about last week. So they had that one, their opener. I'll give their one couple beginning games where they played well, and then that was J.J. Watt was there, and then J.J. Watt left, and it seems like it's all gone. And the other thing is their offense keeps them out on the field so long, too, that even if they are good, they are going to eventually break down.
All right. Got it, guys. Well, I wish you the best of luck with those games. I'm going to go over to one that is going to make you guys probably scream and fall off your chair. I'm going with a team that I really feel needs to win and go on a massive run to save their season. I am taking a team that is 1-5. I am taking a team known as the defending NFC champions. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers today at home. -2.5 points versus the Arizona Cardinals. I think that their backs against the wall. I love betting teams in that particular situation.
Dude.
I know, Dad.
You're walking yourself in front of a firing squad with this one.
There's a reason why they're favored, and I believe that they're going to get the job done today. I think they're going to turn it around. Now, obviously, here's the thing: their secondary is so bad, but Arizona doesn't bother me at all through the air. I mean, we watch them time and time again, and if you could have forced them into bad situations, it's almost like they panic offensively. Taking Carolina, Dream. I know that you hate that play.
I don't, actually.
You don't?
No.
Really?
I actually happen to agree with you.
Wow.
It's not one of the plays that I'm taking, and I'm not getting my money involved, but I see where you're going with it, and I see the logic. As far as situational gambling, I got to say, if my buzzer for situations are going off, you're looking at a Carolina Panther team. People think they're not that good. I've been saying that for a minute, though, but they're not that good. You're looking at an Arizona team. This Arizona team, I'm with you, man. I don't know what happened to them over the offseason. They just don't have it anymore. There's an inability for Carlson Palmer to get that ball down the field to his guys.
Right.
Johnson's been kind of bright spot with his running, but you look at Larry Fitzgerald. You're leaning on Larry Fitzgerald to do the bulk of the work as far as their passing game is concerned. He just can't. I don't believe that you're going to have a lot of success in Carolina. I don't like the time slot that Arizona's playing at. You're right. Carolina's got their back up against the walls. I know exactly what you're saying. The only thing that scares me, Carolina on a whole
Right.
bothers me as far as their offensive weapons. And I've talked about that several times. If Carolina had one more offensive weapon, they are supposed to get Jonathan Stewart back in their lineup.
Right.
That will probably help them out in the running game a little bit. But I think that you are going to have success here because, man, Arizona, I don't know. It's something about this team. They just don't do it anymore.
Yeah, coming off a bye week too.
And losing, let's remember Arizona traveled to Buffalo and got blown out.
Right on. So let's see.
I don't know, man. I'm actually buying the point to plus 3.5 on Arizona just out of an abundance of precaution.
Okay.
But Arizona, I think, is going to win this game on the field.
You think they're going to win on the field, but you're getting to 3.5. So hey, there's a chance that both of us could win.
That's
Carolina
true. Let's
wins by
middle.
3. So let's middle it. All right. So we're going to go back over to the Dream. Dream, where you at?
All right. Let's get into, I happen to I actually like both of your plays. And by the way, the Redskins just got a field goal, so an update on that score is 10-7. Redskins are up 10-7 right now.
All right.
I kind of like both of your play. I could see both of those working. The Lions is very interesting. Also, to me, the Panthers are very interesting as well. My next location that I'm going, guys, I'm going 8:30 though.
You're going 8:30. Atlanta at what is this? Where are we here?
Dallas.
You want to go right into
Dallas.
Philadelphia,
Wow.
Dallas? Or you want to save it for the end?
Going for-
I think we all got an opinion on that.
Okay, we all got an opinion on then I'll leave it alone. But so then let's take it one more spot. We'll go up to 1:00. Not a game that I'm getting involved in, but a game that I'd like to discuss, which would definitely be the Jets versus the Cleveland.
Oh, man.
Wow.
As I see the Cleveland Browns potentially getting their first win.
You got a possibility there.
I'm staying away from this, but if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. I mean, the Jets are a mess. I mean, you're talking about, all right, let's start Geno. Oh, crap, Geno blew out his ACL. We're not going to start Bryce Petty because we're still technically alive for the playoffs. So, Ryan Fitzpatrick, go back out there after you've thrown like 900 interceptions. The psyche of that team has got to be questioned. And Cleveland, obviously, you got to go to win at some point. I mean, almost nobody ever doesn't win a game.
Right. So you think this is the one? That
Oh,
get it done?
God.
I know you guys like underdogs for the listeners out there. I know you like underdogs. I believe you do have, in this situation, a very live dog at home. You got your home team underdog at home. It's not on prime time, but it's prime time for Cleveland.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
Cleveland don't care about this game. They're about to win the World Series.
Yeah,
They just
yeah,
won
yeah.
the NBA championship. They're like, you know what, Browns? Like, whatever, man. Kick rocks.
I think they have a UFC champion too.
And maybe some of that energy is spilling over into the Browns and into their locker room, and maybe this game here, the Cleveland Browns have been alive in a few of their games, okay?
They're going to run the table, Dream. They're going to run the table and win the Super Bowl.
You talk about the Miami game that they should have won and lost in overtime. They were alive in that game. They were alive in Tennessee. So they've been alive in a couple of their games. You got a Jet team that does not have a good secondary. They got A-Rod back there in the back and Darrelle Revis. His secondary's been burnt a lot this season. Terrell Pryor may be able to get beyond this, defense. It's the question you got to ask yourself is, can Kessler find him? If he throw the ball that far, I mean, that is questionable. But I do think that Cleveland has a live dog opportunity to get their first win against a Jet team amidst a lot of distractions and confusion. And who knows where Fitzpatrick's brain is at.
It's definitely a great tease opportunity.
Sure.
Okay.
Like if you put Cleveland, if you can manipulate, right, which I hope everybody who's listening at this point can manipulate their books, and you get like a 3-team or even a 4-team, like 8-point, there's a lot of opportunities. Like you get them up to like plus 10 somehow, or even plus 12. Even if the Jets win, I don't see them winning by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Sounds good. I have no play on that game whatsoever. Dan, I'm going to kick it over to you. Where are you going?
Yeah, so let's see. I got to keep it a little nasty here, and I know some people are going to think that I might be smoking crack on this, and that's fine. You can hit me up and tell me that. I'm going with another home team underdog.
Ooh.
At the 1:00 hour.
Yep.
in the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, well, you know what? We tried talking you off the ledge, and you were victorious last week. with the Colts.
I know.
So congratulations to you.
Still don't
Thank
know.
you.
All right. So
I know. He's like, I'm still going to try and lock you up in the insane asylum. Why am I bothering with this game? I definitely get where you guys are coming with, but the Colts have shown me a little bit of life, and I understand that Kansas City had that game against the Raiders, and those games are always kind of crazy, and the Raiders played horribly. But this is a team in their other road games. They put up 12 points against the Texans. They lost 19-12. They got blown out by the Steelers on the road. I think today, again, there is a time change from Kansas City. It might only be an hour, I think. Maybe not in Indianapolis. Who knows? But either way, plus points. I think Indianapolis is going to win this game outright, but I'll take the plus 3 points, and I think they're good.
all right, Dream. Any thoughts on that one?
No Jamal Charles, by the way.
No Jamal Charles.
Indianapolis Colts defense allows 409 yards. Probably the worst defense. I want to say it's the worst defense ever, right?
Maybe the Saints last year.
They're 28th. The teams that are worse than them are New Orleans, San Francisco, Cleveland, and Oakland.
Okay. And I think that might be an aberration when you put Oakland and San Fran there, because I definitely think the Colts defense is worse than Oakland and San Fran. I'd be honest with you.
They look lost when you watch them.
Absolutely lost. And I know this team probably can have some success in their house, but you're talking about a Kansas City team that I think turn their season around a little bit, are putting it together. You got 2 back-to-back wins. I know it's against a New Orleans team that's not that good, but with the Oakland team, I know you guys love Oakland, and I'm starting to take a little peek at Oakland and get out a little bit on that Oakland bandwagon. They beat Oakland 26-10. You get the embarrassment traveling to Pittsburgh, but that Pittsburgh offense, come on. When Pittsburgh's offense is on and working right, they could beat anybody by that right now.
Oh, no. I'm not saying. I'm more, it's more like that bad Texans loss. I know Texans defense was firing at that point, but
right.
I don't know.
This Colt team, though, I just see them do dumb stuff, bad mistakes, and even from everybody, from the defense to Andrew Luck throwing that crappy interception right when you don't need it in the wrong position. You're talking about a Kansas City Chiefs defense that would capitalize on mistakes, and an Andy Reid team that Kansas City does not generally make a ton of mistakes when they play, even in road situations. I just don't like this game at all. I'm not getting involved in it, but I don't really see the Colts winning this game.
All right. Well, we're going to kick it over to me. And there's a game here that I'm a little gun shy on.
Kick it over to you, Hat.
I'm going to go to the AFC East. And I'm going to go to the New England Patriots, who are giving a touchdown to the Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo obviously was victorious in their last matchup.
I got that at 5.5 now, by the way.
You got 5.5, huh?
Yep.
Wow, it's all over the board. I've seen this line move up and down here. And you know what? Obviously, Buffalo beat the New England Patriots without Tom Brady at the helm and actually shut them out. I don't know if that carries into this game. I don't know if New England has revenge on their mind. I think Buffalo is a tough place to play. This is the chance for Buffalo to really kind of put themselves on the map, especially after losing to Miami. I'm almost tempted to moneyline the Patriots, but I got to get a little bit more reassurance from the nation and you guys. Dream, do you think the New England Patriots go into Buffalo and win today? Tough call, right? This is a tough game.
It's a very tough game because even though the Patriots have been winning, I've been watching them. I should just say the last game. They didn't win as impressively in their last game against Pittsburgh as I expected them to. I've seen a little kind of chink in the armor. And you always talked about the New England Patriot O-line not holding up. You know what? Last game, the Steelers made Brady very uncomfortable back there.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. Now, if Buffalo goes and watches the film, which you know they did, and you know Rex is a defensive guy, he's probably going to be able to dial some things up and have some success. Not to mention, they did have success in their first appearance. So the Buffalo Bills probably think that they've kind of figured out a little bit what to do with this Patriot team. For Buffalo, this is like a Super Bowl for them again. They are going to definitely be up, and Rex is a good motivator of men. We've talked about that as well on this program before. This is a very dangerous spot for New England Patriots, in my opinion. I don't like this game, and I don't like I don't like the Patriots money line. Believe it or not, I like the Bills with the points, but I get more points with them. I think if you can get the Bills plus 2 scores, I think that's the way to go in that particular matchup.
I might end up just having one play today. Being Carolina. But my man Wayne Yarborough's asking me, hey, Hat, do you think ATL calls Matt Ryan for quarterback sneaks today? Let's go right into that game, boys. Cause that's
real quick, I just want to chime in on the Patriots.
Oh, go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I actually think this is a game where the Patriots blow Buffalo out of the water. I think this is a game that screams to me old Jets with Rex Ryan, right? They're feeling themselves a little bit. They got their bravado, they got their bluster going. Everything's looking right. And then, Buffalo ain't beat New England twice. And I think Bill Belichick, even though they had the backup quarterback in last time, is heated about what happened. I think they go in there and this is going to be destruction.
My man Jonesy's telling me that Belichick hasn't been swept by a team since 2002, 14 years ago. Interesting. All right, let's talk about the other game here. Let's talk about the...
Okay, I just wanted to say this. To me, the only reason why I don't think it's going to be a blowout. The Patriots might win, but I'm going to pull back from the blowout because the Bills and Rex Ryan are just too... This game, he coaches them up too much and will have them too motivated to get embarrassed in this particular matchup. I don't disagree that the Patriots can win this game. Obviously, they're the Patriots, and we talked about them being, who they are. But Rex Ryan, to me, his guys will just be too coached up to get blown. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think they're going to get blown out.
But what? I mean, I don't think LaShawn McCoy is playing.
That's a really good question. Let's check it out.
It says he's official. I mean, they're saying doubtful.
Doubtful, okay.
So, and that was,
Patriots as well, so keep that in mind, too.
Got it.
Obviously, you got Gronk that you can go to, but Bennett is definitely... Bennett's listed as questionable.
Yeah.
Actually, the Patriots got that whole thing going on where everybody's questionable, so...
You never know until they get out there.
And then everybody's suited up after all, so...
Yep.
All right. Green Bay at Atlanta. Atlanta -3.
Oh, yeah.
With an under-over of 52.5. I can tell you this much, that the Green Bay Packers are banged up. Randall Cobb is questionable. Clay Matthews is questionable. Jared Cook is out. And Ty Montgomery is questionable. A lot of stuff going on there. Dan, sounds like you're on this game. What do you got?
I'm on the Green Bay Packers.
Really?
Because the Atlanta... Yeah. Give me the 3 points. I think it'll probably go up to 3.5 because I think a lot of people are going to be on this Falcons team. Look, I'm seeing this a different way. I'm seeing the Falcons pulling the Falcons. Okay, the Falcons last week. I think that loss was way more devastating than a lot of people are gonna think. It's not just a bad loss. Overlooking it. Now you lost 2 in a row. You lost a home game to a really not that good Chargers team.
Right.
And I think even with the injuries that the Packers have, they still have a lot of weapons that they can go to. This Atlanta defense is not impressing you at all. I really like the Packers in this spot. I think a lot of people are counting them out, and I like them best. I also think that, it's about time. I think that Aaron Rodgers last week, really showed. And I understand there's some injuries, but I think Montgomery's going to play. And even, Jordy Nelson had 1 point, and Aaron Rodgers had his best game of the year. So I think they'll still be able to spread the ball around. I think they'll still be able to do a lot in offense against this Falcons team, and they're going to go in there. I think they win the game.
This Green Bay team has been bothering me. You know what? Obviously, with all the injuries you got going on here, but I don't know. Dream, they just seem out of sync to me.
They do.
And you know what? When I watch a team like that over the last couple of decades here, I tend to stay away from them until they get their groove back. But what do you got here, Dream?
Talked about the Green Bay Packers. I point to their tight end. I don't like the gameplay out of their tight end. I think them not having the typical, prototypical tight end that Rodgers is looking for. I think that's one of the elements that makes their game that's taking him down. I've also talked about Mike McCarthy calling the plays. I don't feel that is working out successfully. I do feel that you need somebody up top in the booth who's getting an above look at what's going on to call the plays, because I think they'll have a lot more success that way. This game, it's so hard to mess with the Atlanta Falcons.
I agree. These are all tight games here.
To mess with the Atlanta Falcons because they just do not act right. They don't act right. With Green Bay's plethora of injuries, and they got a lot of injuries coming in this team, and I haven't liked the way Green Bay's defenses look. Julio Jones right now is playing out of his mind. I know why we're always talking about Odell Beckham Jr. Julio Jones is quietly not being distractful on his sideline, having an incredible season right now.
Yes.
I think that the Atlanta Falcons have the ability to win this game. I think that they're going to win this game. I just don't know how.
You just don't know how. Well, you know what? They're going to have to do it. They're going to have to basically outshoot Green Bay because they are piss poor defensively. So,
they give up 400 yards.
What's that?
400 yards they've given up on defense.
I know. It's crazy. So, I think that's pretty much it, unless you guys got any other games before we talk about Sunday Night Football. You got any more, Dream?
No, I think we could.
Dream, you it?
I'm here.
All right,
Let's head on into it.
Let's head right into it. We got the Dallas Cowboys who are hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys schedule moving forward. This is probably their hardest game in the next couple because they got to go to Cleveland next, and then they got to play Pittsburgh without Big Ben at the helm. So they got a chance to really separate themselves from the pack. Dream, a number one seed in the NFC? Wow. I know,
very, very.
I think they're going to win tonight. What's your thoughts?
How different a year makes for a team. We talk about the Dallas Cowboy team. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. They dumbed down the offense. Great offensive line.
Yeah.
All of that jazz. However, we don't talk about this Philadelphia Eagles team with a pretty good defense. So they do have a good defense, but Philly just does not have the offensive tools, in my opinion, to scare you, especially against Dallas. Dallas' defense hasn't been so bad this season, been decent. I also like the Cowboys to win this game tonight. I also think that the under is a great play for this game. I think it's going to be kind of tight, an old NFC, bang up game. Dr. Dan probably remembers back in the day when the NFC had those kind of games, kind of old, giant Eagles game with that kind of feel to it. I don't feel like a lot of scoring is going to be done, but I feel like the Dallas Cowboys win tonight as well.
Dan, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is a really interesting game because both teams are coming off really big wins. The Eagles stumbled a little bit on the road. So that right there, and look, the 5.5 number, I think you're crazy if you're taking 5.5.
Okay.
I don't think you can do that. I think that this is another game where if you can get the Cowboys to plus points or money line parlay, I think the Cowboys win the game. But man, I think it's going to be close. Like Dream said, old school NFC type grudge match. You might see, Ezekiel Elliott for the first time, 3 yards, cloud of dust type of night. But, look, I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Cowboys come out in a close one.
All right, and get it done. Yeah,
the
looking at
only
it.
thing, though, I am going to say about this game is it would not shock me if the Eagles won, though.
Oh, I agree. It's an interdivision matchup.
You know what I'm saying? Don't think, because I know a lot of people who are getting on this, the Dallas going to win. Listen, be prepared. You're going to be in a dogfight in this game because I am still not sold that the Dallas Cowboys are as good as everybody else thinks that they are.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay? And I still haven't seen Dak Prescott play like a rookie should play in professional football. I mean, all those elements are still swirling around the Dallas Cowboys that we haven't seen. So before you go crazy and go ham, and just like Dan said, that 5 to me is ridiculous.
Exactly. Well, I got to tell you one thing. That Philadelphia in the last 6 games when playing in Dallas, 5-1. And Dallas, in their last 10 games at home, are 2-8 straight up, guys.
Dallas is it's a different
team.
It's a different team. And in the past, before this year, they've been atrocious at home.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. They did lose to the Giants at home. Remember that?
They did. Exactly. But you know what? I like Dallas to win tonight. So that's pretty much going to do it for me, guys. Unless you have anything else to talk about, Dan?
No. I just think, guys, if you're unloading on the Cubs tonight, just be very careful. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it. It would be heartbreaking, but I think I hope everybody who has a Cubs series play backs it up with the Indians. That's what I'm gonna leave you with.
All right. But you know what I may do? Because I'm greedy, I may take the Cubs tonight, parlay it with the Carolina Panthers. Dream, what do you got here?
All right, guys. I got basically 2 plays that I really like. Okay, I like the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. I'm sorry?
That's right. I forgot about the Broncos, too.
I like the Denver Broncos, and I like the Dallas Cowboy, Philadelphia Eagle under.
Okay.
Broncos, Eagles under in a teaser. And I have a small, I'm going to jump with you. I'm going to jump. Dude, Carolina's punched me in the face all season, man.
I know. Don't do it, Dream. You know why? Because if you take it, it's probably going to lose.
Well, and to top that off, you're just awful.
And you're going to be heckling me to death in the first quarter.
Thinking about your terrible day, but the thing that I know about things that go down sometimes do come back up. You went down bad yesterday. I'm hoping you can get yourself back up off the mat. But I just, you know what? I just don't believe in this guy. I think Cardinals can't do it, though. I don't think I can do it.
All right.
So I'm just going to stay there.
Yep. Sounds good. So I'm going to get involved with the Carolina Panthers. I'm probably going to get involved with the Denver Broncos. I can't see the Cubs losing tonight, Dan. So I'll probably get some.
Best of luck. I probably will stay away, but we'll see. The other game, I'm gonna ride the Cardinals. I'm gonna ride the Colts. I'm gonna ride the Lions. I'm gonna ride the Packers. And here's one I don't think we actually got into, which I think is really sneaky. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks at New Orleans.
Really?
-1 point. Look. The Seattle offensive line is absolute garbage, but
the worst.
Yeah.
The worst. But New Orleans doesn't scare you.
No, of course not. They're one of the worst defenses in football.
At all. So I think that Seattle actually, and New Orleans, that the home dome thing ain't really much anymore. So again, that's what I'm going with. Best of luck to everybody. I will catch y'all next Saturday.
All right, sounds good. Dream, do your closeout, please.
Yes, sir. I want to thank everybody that's got involved in retweeting the show. We had a lot of fun today at Hat's expense, and it's always fun to have a little bit of fun like that. We got out there. Let's see who we got. I'm trying to pull this up as we speak.
No problem at all, brother. And guys, we will be back tomorrow 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time doing Monday Morning Quarterback, and we'll have all the new college football rankings after all the turmoil that went down yesterday.
Don't ignore your kids' Halloween stuff, guys. Get out there with them.
Definitely enjoy Halloween. Be careful. And remember tonight's that Hell Night thing, too. I don't know if you live somewhere crazy and the kids will get out of hand, but keep that in mind this evening as far as, putting your cars in the garage or whatever. One more thing. I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. C. Rodriguez Jr., Terrence Matt, Norbert, Chai Picks, Fast Eddie 72, Joseph Del Rosario, Vegas Jack, Sermana, Wooch GG, Swing Cat Size, Pete for Prez, Marlon, Winning Picks, Snoopy Bets, Direct Sports Solution, JP, Theory, Bouchard, Cash Action Bets, Wayne Yarbrough, and Vegas Girl 92661, to name a few. Gang, the card is not that attractive today. Don't be afraid to be a fan. You don't have to get involved in the action. If you don't like it, don't force it. And if you are going to play because you just have to play, maybe you might want to cut the financial end of it down to very minimum, as there's not a lot of, there's nothing really stands out today as far as really, really happening. I mean, we all have opinions about what's going to happen. And once you start that thing at 1 o'clock, all them opinions go through the roof or out the window, and all kinds of madness happens. So be careful out there. You get involved on the dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day, because you cannot get this time back.
All right, guys. We love you to death. Go out there and go easy. Make all your dreams a damn reality. Get that money. Let's go.
Peace.